Okay. Last time I played, I'd got into this highly sinister laboratory in the biodome complex of the Black Mesa research facility, where we found these strange lizard-like creatures in cryostasis jars, like they were being studied by greedy, cruel scientists here at the Black Mesa facility. So yeah, no wonder they're getting shot at by my fellow soldiers and killed. It must be them getting their comeuppance. And look here, we have one that seems like it's come out of its tube. Seems we can spray paint the cryostasis tubes. And you know what's particularly interesting about these lizard-like things in the tubes? They can actually be hurt with this. Does make me feel guilty though, shocking them like that. So I'm gonna stop. But yes, these lizard-like things in these cryostasis tubes, I think these are actually supposed to be the infant form of the shock troopers. From what I remember hearing, you see, Sonny Jim. So it's fascinating to think that these will grow up to become those massive troopers that have been killing, which fire those weapons at me, which fire those shocking projectiles at me, eh? Fascinating to see their infant form, eh? And now, as we gingerly approach this one on the floor here, oh yes, we get it as a weapon. Intriguing that we can spray paint corkboards, isn't it, eh, baby dolls? And now, allow me to showcase the capabilities of this weapon. Yes, they fire a kind of explosive toxic blast, which seems to deal considerable shock damage. Considerable splash damage regardless. When we fire it at creatures, intriguing. And because I find the hound eyes cute, I'm not going to use it on the hound eye. That looks like it could be an air vent up there. A little bit small though for a human to crawl through, I'd imagine. Someone as fat as me would probably get stuck in it. I wonder if this can be smashed, by the way, with it being broken off its hinges. No, I guess not. I'll just spray paint it to let people know I tried to break it. Can we get in it? I wonder. No, it would seem I can't get onto this round base that it was once on. Can I climb it down, I wonder? Sort of. But not really very effectively. Interesting that the water from it spills out onto the floor, isn't it? Although you'd think from the amount of water in these ones, it'd spill more water than this onto the ground, wouldn't you? Anyway, the hound eye seems a bit anxious at my presence, so I'll press on and investigate the source of those scary going-on breathing sounds. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, it's coming at me. Oh, that was a miss, wasn't it? They can take more than one hit. But we got it eventually, didn't we? And as you can see here, we're back where we was before. At these storage rooms. I hope I can get back in now, yes. I was worried it'd lock me out, you see. So, let's see how similar the layout of this place is. Yes, this lab I was in before in my last video is of a kind of similar layout to the one in here, isn't it? I mean, this one over here, except it doesn't have a passageway into an adjoining room like this one does. But I digress, Sonny Jim. Notice how I changed my spray painted image to a chick in a target circle. I do believe it's called chick in the menu where you can find those spray paintable images. And as you can see here, we have one of those slime bomb producing plants in this glass container. It had seemed the cruelty of the Black Mesa scientists knows no bounds, where they'll even experiment on these plant-like things, doesn't it? It's sad, but what can you do about it? I wonder if this computer will still be usable with spray paint on it. Don't they look a bit like planets, but drawn in diagram form on this computer monitor, eh? Seems those books aren't destructible. And it had seemed these scientists were studying the molecular composition of maybe blood samples or something from these creatures in these petri dishes they had laid out. Intriguing trees, baby dolls. Oh look, I can get on top of this little tank here. And I can spray paint it too to let the world know I've been here on top of this tank. I wonder if I can break the side windows too. Yeah, that's a nice little detail, isn't it? I've never tried that before. And I hope I'm not going to break the game by spray painting too many things in the one loading section. I think that's happened before with at the beginning of the main game once. So this is specimen observation area number 2 we're entering now, eh? What is that? Some kind of a fairy light? It's like the ones we saw before at Zen, isn't it? Seems anxious to my presence as well. So this is the biodome we were in my last video where I killed those hound eyes and the bull squid, isn't it? Are these windows breakable? No. Let's just spray paint them then to celebrate their hardiness of their overall constitution. Looks like quite a tranquil scene indeed, Sonny Jim. Is my spray-painted smiley still on the ceiling in there, by the way? Doesn't look like it is. Why, I feel cheated. Although you can't really expect things like that to remain when you've left that particular map, can you? It's probably drained resources in the game, maybe. I was worried with how long that loading screen was taking. in case maybe I had broken the game by spray painting those images on too many different things. Let's do this stealthily, shall we? Actually, no, I don't think we will. So it would seem there's hound eye. Oh, they can attack me from in there, it would seem. Looks like they've been stored in crates, awaiting experimentation while studying these labs. I always find it a shame killing them, which is why I try to put it off until the last minute, but sometimes you just have to do these cruel things, don't you? Plus they are hostile anyway. You might find it interesting, baby dolls, to know that hound eyes in the early versions of the main Half-Life game, they weren't going to be hostile. They were going to be like neutral creatures which would help the player against other enemies, but because test players kept killing the hound eyes on sight, it was decided by the game makers, Valve, to make them hostile enemies. It's a shame, but what's done is done, isn't it? Evidence disposal, of course. And now into the data control operations we go. Well, doesn't seem like there's anyone here. In the specimen testing lab. Well, look at this place. So we hope they weren't feeding hapless victims to these barnacles, which it seems like they were growing, isn't it? A button.
Yes, Walter. We were finally able to successfully detach one of the barnacle creatures from its point of gestation. As before, we were still only able to coerce the creature into latching onto organic materials. Unfortunately, the administrator has called me down to the anomalous materials lab this morning for an important experiment, so I don't have any time to further my analysis. Take specimen number 1176 and log anything else you can find.
Yes, sir. Isn't there a nice fancy message waiting indicator here? Makes me think of my days on sites like Face Party when I'd get excited when I got a message and it would show a red indicator at the top saying new message or something like that. The new messages link would be in red text instead of the normal default text when I had messages. They were the days, eh? More molecular structure being studied here, it would seem. Can these windows be broken? No, but they can be ever so slightly stained. Can they be marked with the monkey wrench? Yes, they can. That's progress. Well, would you get a load of this? Seems like there was nothing in this one. Or did it escape? And this is one of those spider-like, octopus-like Xenian creatures, isn't it? So the glass on these can be broken too. Can the top ones be broken? Yes, intriguing trees, Batman. Can't spray paint them, but I can spray paint the interiors of these chambers. It's a shame that they had these in the to study here, the scientists, isn't it? Given how timid they are and all. The way they cower in fear when we get near to them. A barnacle. We can use it as a weapon. Doesn't this just boggle the mind of baby dolls? And we have battery power here. Well, it would seem now we're going to test the effects of our barnacle on the specimens in the specimen cultivation room, doesn't it? And doesn't this barnacle make incredibly creepy sounds when it's left to its own devices? When I stand around yapping rather than doing things that I'm supposed to be doing? So yes, let's showcase the barnacle as a weapon. It eats creatures. Small, relatively small creatures, I might add, like the head crabs. And now you will see it can eat. Oh, I mistimed it. It can eat hound eyes too. Rather humorous, that, isn't it? How it splatters them to pieces like that. I know I said I find a hound eyes too cute to kill, but it's kind of funny to kill them with barnacles, so that one had to lose its life, I'm afraid. Yes, let's just break open crates just because we can. And spray paint them to let people know we were there, like G-Man, perhaps. Testing lab Bravo Delta Romeo Charlie 101. I'm making Judson Gaydon proud there by remembering the military terms for letters of the alphabet. Another clean suit required area, eh? Let's just head in here now. See what horrors await us. Oh, pit drones. And isn't it interesting to observe, to note, that the electrical projectiles from this gun seem to actually nullify the toxic darts from these pit drones if they meet them in thin air. Providing you're a good enough shot to do it, of course, otherwise you'll get hit by the projectile. Oh! It almost hit me with its melee attack. That's a big no-no. You don't want to be hit by them. Oh, another one down there. That was just a grazing shot in its arm, but it was sufficient to finish it off. And the corpse is still indestructible of these things. Be really amazing if there was only like one or two pit drones in the game that had destructible corpses, like those ones I destroyed earlier on, wouldn't it? So, I wonder what's down here. Can't remember how long I've been going either. Is it 10 minutes? Oh, I should have gone down that ladder properly with how carefully I was going down it, shouldn't I? With how gingerly and carefully I approached it and all. Can't see his face, but isn't it intriguing how these clean suits seem to be electrically powered somehow? Intriguing, but not that intriguing. Is your corpse destructible? No, quite metallic it'd seem. I just got another slime projectile explosive from this. Does it hurt if I attack them? No, I think it only hurts if I attack them if they actually have the projectile in them, which can be ruptured by my methods of attack. Don't they look like chewing? Don't they look like mounds of chewing gum stuck on the school desks, but on a gigantic farm, but on a gigantic scale, I suppose you could say? That was the kind of thing that the chavs at my high school back in the day would do, necessitating teachers coming up with rules that we weren't allowed to chew gum in class because some of the more troublesome types would stick their gum under the tables there. And right now I'm going to show you another of the amazing capabilities of this barnacle weapon. It's able to latch onto biological matter such as these, and we can swing across gaps like that. Yes, that's an amazing capability indeed, isn't it, eh, baby dolls? For some reason, those initials BDRC always make me think of the Borg from Star Trek. After all, it does look similar to the word Borg, doesn't it? And 101, that implies this is a simple testing lab, maybe, doesn't it? Another elevator to descend. In we go now. More crabs. Oh, getting pulled up because I was too careless there. Yes, this is quite ideally suited to killing head crabs, this alien weapon, isn't it? Evidence disposal, though. Is there water down there? This ground sounds a bit more tender than the typical ground as well, doesn't it? Like it might be destructible. But no, it doesn't seem to be. Why would there be water under this testing area, though? Yeah, just beggars belief, doesn't it, eh, baby dolls? So we were up there before, looking in here, trying to break that glass to get in here. But now we're in here via a different route, it'd seem. Oh, look, a light up here. Does make me guilty hitting things which spark when they're being hit. Doesn't seem... Oh, I think my spray painted image is showing up on it a bit. Just a little bit. It's hard to see orange spray paint on red lights though, isn't it? Finally we're back into a nice, brightly lit corridor. And we're presented with another lift. I hear more alien sounds. Oh, this isn't where I want to be. Quite a tough bit of combat, that. And the most important creature still alive. But not for much longer. That's another of those alien guns trying to leap at me and do me harm. I was wondering if shooting the fire extinguisher would blow up its corpse, but to no avail. See, it seems like this is a dead Mark Fowler look-alike scientist, doesn't it? Just in case you don't know Mark Fowler from EastEnders. But I digress. And a health dispenser as well, how nice. Anything under here? No. Are these corpses indestructible too? Yes. And this one? I can hear shock trooper sounds still, even though I killed that one up here, with its one big eye glaring at me ominously, like it can see me from beyond the grave and is trying to make me feel guilty from beyond the grave. Well, you know something, Sonny Jim, that isn't gonna work. Say goodbye to your corpse. So what could be this way, I wonder? An elevator? And I'm hearing those shock trooper sounds getting closer, I wonder. I hope this elevator doesn't glitch on me. Oh, more pet drones. Oh, it's glitched, I can't move. What is this nonsense? I'm gonna no clip to get out of it. Yeah, that's just ridiculous cheating now, isn't it? Losing health to these pet drones while I'm stuck in the elevator and can't move. So I'm gonna no clip so that I can get out of it. Killed them while I was partially in the floor there, I think. So let's just disable the cheats now. Hard to type with me OCD at times. So are your corpses indestructible too, pit drones? Your corpses really do deserve to be splattered after you took advantage of my misfortune with that elevator just then. Oh! Yes, I really didn't know that was going to be there because I don't often. Well, I never really go to this place when I normally play, you see, since I know the way to go and all. And I know that this isn't actually the way to go, so yes, I generally don't fight these enemies. Plus, I remembered from the past that an elevator in this game tends to glitch, and so I'm generally reluctant to get on elevators in this part of the game, you see. Anything secret up here? With how I can get on this collapsed, seemingly air vent-like thing, except it seems a bit small to be an air vent. I'm like a bat a bit in human form, aren't I? Climbing onto ceilings like this. Yes, it seems there's nothing here. Except a chick tattoo. A chick spray paint, rather. Oh, and now we're on the other side of this fallen wreckage, aren't we? Where I was before. On the other side. looking in the midst of the wreckage to see if there was any supplies, but there isn't. So let's just get back our much needed health and see what's in the control room. Yeah, this is like almost blind to me, this, since the last time I was here was like many years ago, probably. Getting towards 10 years ago, maybe. Oh, probably just more than 5, actually. Anyway, let's see what's in these boxes. Anything up there? I'll just check up there before I relax. Yeah. Oh, so now we're a bit lower down and closer to the ground of this biodome viewing area, eh? The glass is unbreakable, and that's probably for the best, for our safety, isn't it? And now we can finally get a clear view of the chick spray paint image. Does look awful cute, doesn't it? So let's get our much needed supplies from the boxes now, shall we? Hope I'm not going to get stuck in our elevator again when I need to go down it, since it seems there's no way of progressing this way, doesn't it? More battery power, that'll come in handy after the health I've lost already, as well as the battery power I've already lost too. No, I don't think there's anything that'll get me high enough to get into that air vent, is there? I mean, maybe when there was more of the boxes, I could have pushed them around to maybe get high up enough to get in that vent, but seems like there isn't a possibility now. I wonder if it is actually breakable. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's kind of sad to think maybe I could have gotten in there to get some secret supplies, isn't it? And I wonder how these computer mainframe looking things, or consoles, with how they look like they're arranged in a rather haphazard manner, if they can be exploded away from the place to reveal another secret, maybe. Oh, no they can't. All I've done is make a rather nasty stain in the carpet. So yes, let's leave this place now. Enough dilly-dallying and sidetracking. It's time to get back on course, I would say. And let's hope I don't get stuck in the... Let's hope my feet don't get embedded in the elevator floor again. Never mind. Yes, I didn't get stuck. That's great. That's just fine and dandy, Sonny Jim. Only 5 health points left in that dispenser, sadly. And here we go with more supplies. How fortunate. Suit power. Yes, just suit power, it'd seem. Specimen observation area 3 now. Is this destructible? No. Now it's the chick observation area. The 3rd one for that. If you want to be pedantic, baby dolls. Another barrier with a light on it. And I'm hearing whale sounds as well. Whale-like sounds. That could only mean... tentacles. They're blind. but they have good hearing. So let's create a distraction for them, shall we? Yes. Now they're hunting what they think is their food over there. And we can pass by and see what's over here. Anything beyond this door? No. Are these barriers destructible, by the way? No, it's the same not. It just seem I've riled up that tentacle over there. Are those whale sounds nice and soothing? Think I'd find whale sounds scary in real life though, especially if I was underwater. After all, it just sounds kind of powerful and deep and resonant, and you know, like you shouldn't be close enough to actually be able to hear them, kind of. Or I just attracted that tentacle's attention by trying to break that part of that pallet, didn't I? It's wise to not get their attention. Wise to stay at the point where they can't audibly perceive you, isn't it? More battery power. Let's make sure they can't hit me though and take away that precious battery power. Because then I'll be easy pickings, won't I, for other enemies without a suit power to protect me. Anything over here in this nook and cranny? It would seem not. Or in here? No. Interesting to observe these creatures with them being blind, aren't they? Observing them as you creep around. Surprised he didn't hear that, the tentacle. All of that does seem to be riled up a bit though. Can't go in here as it seems. So, all we could. And remember when I was up there in my last part, and when I was out that window looking down at these creatures, it's fascinating to think of that progress I've made, isn't it? Over these last two parts, gradually making my way down here where I need to be, so that I can use my barnacle to get up there. I think that when this barnacle is in action, pulling its way, well, pulling me up to these high places, that it sounds like it's saying W, U, U, W, U, U. But I'm just sounding insane, aren't I? Well, let's just see if it'll say it again. Yes, say W, U, W, U. It must have a fascination with the letter U, and it must be even more fascinated with the letter W, with how it's like essentially two U's almost. Strange how they call the letter W W, even though it's like a double V rather than a W, isn't it? Maintenance area now, and fan unit 1 over there. And a dead soldier, that's not a good sign. But we've got ammo and health here, and a radio.
X-Ray Zulu, are you there? We need backup in the west sector. It's some sort of water creature. Tower and Eddie are down, and I've lost contact with the rest of the squad. We need backup now! Now, damn it, now!
Well, that's a rather foreboding sign of what's to come, but that's also going to be our cliffhanger for the time being, as I save the game and turn the game off and stop our video.